Okay, just a quick little assessment. I'm doing this just to get people to think about things. I'm not doing the whole run of it. I'm just going to get some stuff out there to get ideas going. And I feel it's crucial, especially the time that we're in now, where you see what's happening with the food. They're trying to shut down farmers. They're paying farmers not to grow, paying farmers not to farm. They're getting rid of, the beef, the poultry, that kind of stuff, best they can. And if you have questions about they, I did a video on who are they, who is they. But anyways, you know who they are. The powers that shouldn't be. So anyways, I just want, sit down. If you could, type this in your phone, get a notepad. You don't have to. I'm just suggesting and just give an idea out there. I think it's so important. But that's just me. So you would just want to do an assessment. An assessment saying, all right, so I'm just sitting in the house or sitting in the apartment, or I'm just sitting outside in my yard, or I'm just sitting outside in my parents' yard, or I'm just outside in the park, or I'm just wherever you are. On break at work, sitting in your car or whatever. You just say, okay, I need to just do an assessment where I'm at, where things are at, and just whether I think that havoc's going to come and stuff's going to hit the fan or not. I just need to do an assessment just to make sure I'm good for myself. I got myself protected, my family, whether that's a family that I have children, a wife, a husband, or my parents, or my elderly grandparents, whatever the case is, or my friends, my close community, whatever it is. So just ask yourself, say, what items do I have that hold real value, that have real value to them? So, and there might be stuff mental-wise and that kind of stuff, but I'm talking stuff that really holds value, and it doesn't need to hold value of. I bought it for, $10,000, and I can sell it for $10,000. I'm not talking that. I'm talking, what do you have that holds value, that you can live without and survive, without it, and that you could sell, and you would get decent money for it. And I'm not talking that you're going to put it in an auction, you're going to put it on eBay, you're going to, try to sell on the side of the road or whatever. I'm just talking, if stuff hits the fan and you gotta get money somehow in case of emergency, that's some sort of medical emergency, that's some sort of housing or apartment or vehicle emergency, or just some sort of emergency. You need to get money now somehow. What do you have? What do you have that you could sell? Do you have stuff laying around? Do you have clothing? Some expensive clothing. I don't know. I don't do the expensive clothing things, but maybe you do. Do you have leather jacket, that kind of stuff? Anything for riding, that people would want to spend some money on. Do you have stuff like for furniture? It's got, people always comment about it, or you see it goes for a decent amount of money. All right, I attend to something here, but anyways, sorry. What do you have? I know I was going over the whole list of stuff like any tools that hold some sort of value to them. I don't know if it's a larger jack, mechanic tools, any tools for construction, stuff like that. I'm just trying to think. I don't have much in my head. Old stereo equipment, records, have some sort of a demand to them, that kind of stuff, and anything that just holds some sort of value. Along with that, gold, silver, precious metals, vehicles, that kind of stuff. Even some bicycles hold a value to them. And so what do you have? And it could be anything like an old pool table that doesn't get used or stuff like that. So just assess it and say, okay, I got these. Now I could sell these, but now think about it, fire sale. What can I get for them in a fire sale? What does that mean? That means I need the money in 2 days. I'm not going to get top dollar. I'm not even get close to top dollar. I might get half or 60% of what I would like, or 70% of what I think it would be worth, but I don't have the time to sell it for that long. I need to get rid of it now. So I need to sell it for a price that someone's going to say, okay, I'll buy this because it makes sense. I need it. It's a great deal. So what what do you have that you can sell? What's the amount you can get for these items? And just put it together, write it down, write these down on your list or type them in your list or think about them. I mean, it's best to write them down because then it makes you think about other stuff. But so then you're like, okay, so, all right, in an emergency, if I need to get something, I got this. This is where I'm at. So do I need to find a way to get more? Because I'm going to need more because what I have here that I've written down or typed down isn't much. Or am I pretty good? I'm pretty good with this. I feel comfortable here. So that's just a good way to assess it. And then think about the items, like I said, precious metals, stuff that holds your value. So it doesn't get with inflation nowadays, and in my opinion, in the future, it's going to be tremendously worse. And that's before we get hyperinflation. I would pray that doesn't happen, but I think it's inevitable. I think there's no way around it. So what do you have that's going to hold your value? And not something you want to sell in case of emergency, unless you absolutely have to. But you have this because maybe it's something that you'll pass down to future generations if you have children or grandchildren or whatever, that kind of stuff. What do you have there? And then if you need it, you got it. If you don't, more power to you and more power to the future generations. And then assess, do I have necessities? Now I got these things I can sell. I can get some sort of currency going, some sort of money to pay for what I may or may not need at that moment and pray I don't need it. But do you have necessities? Food, water access. If you don't, how are you going to get it? How are you going to do it? Not just talking from the city or wherever you get your water from. That stuff's garbage anyways, in my opinion. Shelter, guns, ammunition. Guns are useless without ammunition. Even other stuff like knives, tools. I went over that. Tools, which, yes, wrenches are great and that kind of stuff, and ratchets and sockets are great, but a crescent wrench, an adjustable wrench, you can pretty much get anything in an emergency that you need with that. So that's kind of tools I'm talking about. The stuff that is just a necessity, something that you have to have to get through stuff. A hammer. Do you have a garden going? Whether it's just pots in your apartment. Do you have sprouts going? Do you have a large garden outside? Do you have any sort of garden? Do you have a raised garden? Do you have any thought of a garden? Do you have seeds? Seeds for a garden. Seeds just in case you may need it. Do you have seeds for next year's harvest? Next year to get ready for the harvest, to be able to harvest. Do you have clothing, whatever else, medicines, that kind of stuff? Do you have that stuff? Assess it, write it down, and then you might see some holes there that you want to fill. Because if you're not writing stuff down, yes, you can go through the list in your head, but once you write stuff down, you make it more real, and then you react to it, which is so much more important. How about a gas-powered vehicle, gas-powered car, gas-powered truck, that kind of stuff. And I'm saying gas-powered because just my opinion is I bet you within 10, 12 years, you won't be able to buy gas-powered vehicles anymore if they get their way. And if they get their way, if you don't have a gas-powered vehicle, you don't have freedom. You can't go anywhere for as long as you want to drive whenever you want. You need to rely on a place to go to charge and then sit there while it's charging. And then they can shut it down if they want. They can say, no, you can't drive here. Or no, you're not allowed to drive, so we're shutting down your vehicle. They can do all that stuff. That goes along with the CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. Once that's fully in, and I again, I pray that doesn't get there, but it seems inevitable. There's going to be no privacy. There's going to be no freedom unless people start bartering, using precious metals, or bartering with their skills, their life sets, trading, labor, that kind of stuff. So on that same note, do you have skills that you may be able to help others with? Or that you could trade your labor, your skills for their skills, or stuff you might not have, they can do, that kind of stuff. Do you have that? Is there something that you started to learn and you need to finish? Or something you wanted to learn that you haven't done yet? Maybe it's time to, start doing that. 10 minutes a day is more than 0. And then after the end of the year, you're so much further advanced. So I'm just saying this because, like I said, where everything is at, where everything's going, no one's going to do this for you better than yourself. No one cares, really, for you better than yourself. No one knows you really better than yourself. Just like who's really gonna be there to help your children? Yes, there might be some family members, but if you're a parent, you're number one. Your spouse or whatever, their other parent is number one also. I know that doesn't happen all the time, but as a standard, that's how it should be. And these are things that should be thought about. But anyways, I am just saying this, just think of it as a fire sale emergency assessment. I might want to name this video, but just think about it. There's nothing more to this than just getting people out there thinking, writing stuff down, and just whether stuff hits the fan or not, it doesn't hurt to start getting prepared, start getting your ducks in a row, start getting stuff assessed. But anyways, if you like this, I have to like, share, subscribe. I thank you for watching. And as always, stay vigilant for yourself, your family, protect your health, and protect your wealth.